Good morning! Today I'm going to take you along with me. I'm going to go and see Philbert again because he's going to look at kind of my physical strength, what I need to work on to improve on the bike, and then he's also going to look at my commuter bike, maybe make a few adjustments to that, and then I'm going to be doing a Q&A with him because I asked you a while ago, if you remember, I asked you to ask me questions for him, so that's going to probably be in a separate video than today, but I will be doing that at some point today, asking him all your questions. So I thought I'd take you along with me and see kind of how I get on, what I get up to, and what it's actually like. So let's go. Look what I just got in the post. Look at this. It's off my mama. The views, the views. Hi little cookie, loving the vids. Keep doing what you love and be happy, love mum. Oh, it makes me so happy. Thanks, Mama. I love when my mum is my number one supporter. Hello. I love this studio. It's so good. There's just so much interesting tools and equipment, and my favourite.
So what this measures is your ability of your shoulders. So you see how the difference is there. So what that's showing is that your right shoulder's a lot more flexible. That's it good? And that's excellent. So what I want you to do, Katie, is I want you to raise your leg up like this, okay? All right? And then I want you to think about your lower back here and try and maintain contact with the lower back of the bed. And as you're doing that, lower the leg to the bed now. And just maintain contact with the bed. Good? Excellent. Good. Try not to hold your breath. Then lift this leg up, all right? And okay, now I'm just going to put my hand underneath so I know she's not cheating, and then lower that leg to the bed. Good. It gives a little, but Katie's got really good pelvic control there. She's able to rotate her pelvis backwards and hold it against the bed while she lowers the leg. Common thing would be someone can get up there, but they've got very poor control and lower it. They're giving the back arches off, or the knee bends in the middle, things like that, but turned out to be quite a superstar.
I thought I was going to be really bad at this.
Okay. Right, we'll move on to the next one now, okay?
Oh yeah.
So if we go... Are you ready, Katie?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, up into start position. Okay, I'm going to start there, right?
God, I'm shaking.
Yep, that's normal. Just try and maintain that back where it is, right, rather than let it sink. Okay, so the last one, you may want to do, I don't know if this would be good for video or whether you don't want it, but basically I'm going to be holding on to you just beneath your bottom, and your bum will be here, your legs, you're literally hanging off the front of the bed there, and it's how long you can hold here like that.
Oh my God, I'm scared.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
So if you get yourself on there, right, up you come. Hands across your chest, hold. Yeah, that's a lot more work.
For you?
Yes. Because you're pivoting through your legs. Sorry, don't make you laugh. Come on, stay there, good. Let me know if you get any back pain and you want to stop, alright? You do it really well though. Okay.
So, the conclusion.
So putting you through the assessment that I would use for a cyclist in terms of whether you're strong enough to do some of the events that you are, you've got great range of movement. That's a good thing. You know, you've got great ankle range, great straight leg raise, so hip and knee. And the good thing with that is you had very good control through that range. You had excellent shoulder mobility, right different to left, and nearly everyone is because of the dominant hand. One thing you did seem to struggle with is just putting your hands above your head and maintaining the lumbar spine control. Yeah. Very basic test, but having looked at you and you tell me some things about yourself, you do stand with what we call a little bit of sway back. That's not a bad thing, it's just who we are. You know, I'm not one of those physios who goes, that's bad. What is normal? Yeah. There are different presentations of human beings, it's just you. But it's good to be aware of. The interesting thing came in the isometric testing, which was making you do a plank, a side plank, both sides, and then hanging off the bed in prone hold, which Katie did really well, basically hanging yourself. You're two-dimensional, in 2 planes, you're average, but we can easily improve. So 45 seconds on a plank and front plank, we can easily, if you got that to 1 minute 30, that would mean you're looking more like someone who has really good trunk mobility, trunk functionality, who could then probably load that trunk. You know, if you, for example, want to start squatting to improve your strength, or taking on heavy leg press. What you got then, if you think about those muscles that we tested there around the isometric trunk, if they're strong, they're going to look after the back well.
Yeah.
What was the real, not negative finding, but the one thing that I think, having looked at it, you've got real headroom to work on, was your right side plank was pretty poor, your left was non-existent.
Yeah.
Now, what we can do is look into why that is, but I know your injury history, you haven't got too much there. So it might just be, as you said, you haven't done them.
I've just never, because I'm not very good, so I don't do it.
But it might resonate with some people out there that cyclists tend to be good at going that way.
Yes.
Yeah? And we don't go into the third dimension, the sagittal plane. So quite often that test is literally probably because all you do, well, the predominance of where you do is cycling, and then everyday life.
So what do I need to do?
So
just practice plank, side plank.
It depends how much time you've got off the bike to do this, all right? We don't want to detract from the main thing, as you like cycling. So what we need to do is work out a prescription of exercises that will help you. So I think you could do some home exercises with this, just looking at building up that isometric trunk stability and how that feels for you. Not only will that work for your cycling, but I think you need to do that before you consider any serious strength and conditioning, all right? Because I want that trunk a little bit more robust before you went into some traditional activities like deadlift or squatting. But what we can do is maybe work out a program that you can start with, and then maybe refer to a strength and conditioner I know well, who can then work out a program from what we've assessed today. That's the most important thing. It's not just a generic program, it's one that reflects your weaknesses, but weaknesses to be improved, but also accommodate things that maybe need to be accommodated, such as your lumbar spinal rotation. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So the stronger Katie.
Stronger.
So we have to make sure you're doing, what I often talk about is people are just so time poor these days. We don't, as I said, don't want to take away from the riding. Bradley Wins once came and saw me. He'd been assessed by a unit out in California when he was riding for a pro team. He had 29 different exercises on a CD that he's meant to do every day. And he came and said, I just did all of them, and there was no time to ride my bike. So that's a good point. Not one of those exercises wouldn't make him move better, but you have to be realistic, don't you? One thing we need to follow up on is your upper body strength, so I'm going to make you do some press-ups now.
Oh, great. I'm really bad at press-ups as well.
Well, if you look at that, if you're really bad at press-ups, one thing with ultra sort of distance riding is that in the end, we've discussed it, you tend to find as people get tired and tired, it's harder to hold yourself in the optimal position. What we tend to do human beings then is we go into bony lockout, you lock your arms out, that's when you start to sink in your back, and that's when you get more and more neck pain. So the biggest thing that limits riders in race across America is often neck pain, as well as many other things. But one of the most common pull-outs is literally cannot hold my head up. Now that's an extreme.
I've heard that a lot of times.
It's called Schwimmer's neck. And he made.
There was a guy who strapped his neck back. Did you see him?
Yes, it's called Schwimmer's neck, picture in the book. But he made a brace to hold his neck up. I don't know if that's illegal in an event now, but basically that when you go to extremes, you see the weakness, the real weak points, and you can extrapolate back. So if we
build before I get to a point where I'm.
It's hard to think, isn't it? Because I think cyclists often think about. Common thing with pro cyclists, I don't want to do strength and conditioning, I don't want to get big and on aero. You have to do a hell of a lot of strength and conditioning to get on aero. We're not talking about you going down the beach, as it were, but what we are talking about is, I think, basic functional human capacity, so you should be able to do good quality press-ups. If you think about it, you should be able to do that, because that's only going to make you stronger to hold that well.
Absolutely.
All right?
Okay. Do some press-ups.
So come on.
So there was a lot of information there, but it turns out I knew that I was very, very weak for like press-ups and stuff, so that is definitely something that I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be showing you kind of some of the strength work that I will be doing. But yeah, I really, really like Phil. He's just a really nice, genuine guy who just tells it like it is. I'm gonna head off now, and yes, I'll be putting up, we did a Q&A, so I'll be putting that up sometime in the future, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. He answered so many of your questions, and I think that's pretty much it for this video. So sorry if it's been a very long one. It feels like it might have been a long one, but I will see you next video.